Hey, what's up? This is Paul McCoy from 12 Stones, and you're watching CMS TV.
It is Chris Aiken Presents. I, of course, am Chris Aiken, and today on the show, we are going to be talking about a world so cold. You might be thinking about it in today's world. You might be looking back at it, or you might be like this guy that's doing both of those things. He is the lead singer of 12 Stones. He is Paul McCoy. Paul, how are you, sir?
And I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me. It's a beautiful day here. So,
Absolutely. Well, Paul, it's a good time not only for 12 Stones, but for kind of new metal in general. It seems like the 80s wave is finally cresting out to sea again, and it seems like the new metal and modern metal of the late 90s into maybe 2005, 6 is really hitting hard. Perfect time for 12 Stones to come back into the limelight. So let's start there, man. Talk about bringing 12 Stones into today and to, redoing World So Cold.
yeah, man. We started in 2001, so this is our 25th anniversary.
Right.
It makes me feel a little bit old to talk about it, but we're excited to still have the opportunity to make music after all these years. And yeah, it just kind of got to a point where we were taking some time off and got into living a normal life, as they say. But then had a couple of health scares and decided I didn't want to go out that way. So I figured
Right.
if I have a little bit of life left to live, let's go ahead and live it all the way out. And I'm fine, everything's checked out. But it just made me reevaluate where life is for me, and made me want to get back into the process of making music that I love.
Sure. When you go through something like that, and I've been through, life-changing stuff as well. And I'll just tell you, for me, it changed everything. It changed how I look at the world. It changed how I look at every single day. And I mean, I'm sure you can relate to this. Before you have something life-changing like that, you don't think about every single day. It's like, hey, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month or whatever. And then a day turns into a week, a month, a year, and you've wasted time. Once something happens, you are like, I got to do it today because I don't got tomorrow necessarily. Talk about that for you, how it changed you as a man, but also how it changes you as a creative person.
Yeah, I mean, I think just in general, I think humans we're inherently we all want to survive. We want to know, the answers. Nobody's ready to check out just yet. So for me, I felt like I had gotten complacent in life, in my creative flows, as well as just how I viewed each day. My dad always said when I was growing up, every day above ground's a good day, and I kind of lost sight of that way of thinking. So, you know, having a health scare like this just made me realize how important every day is, every minute, and to try to live to our fullest potential. And for me, I feel like a large portion of my purpose here in life is to create music that may tell a little bit of my story while also maybe helping someone out there that's struggling with something similar, and to know that they're not alone and we can find strength in compassion in each other's stories.
Right on. Well, Paul, let's talk about the new single or the re-release, I guess. World So Cold. Originally, it was out on Anthem for the Underdogs. What was it about this song? You've recorded a lot of great songs, and I'm going to get into why most people missed so many of those here in a minute. But this song in particular, what was it about it that said to you, "This is the song that I need to go back and retell this story"?
I mean, I guess for me, it's the fact that it's unfortunately still relevant. I don't think that the relevancy of the song about how messed up the world is, if anything, it's become more relevant as time goes on. And maybe it's because I've gotten a little older and I have a different view of the world and humans in general. But I just don't think the need for a song like this ever really went away. And I feel like it's been 20 years since I wrote that song initially. So I thought things were messed up then. So to be here 20 years later and to find its relevance again. Yeah, like I said, it's an unfortunate thing in a way. It's like I'm grateful that the song exists and we're able to re-record it and work with Howard Benson and Lyric Noel and all these very talented people. Uh, but it's unfortunate that it's still relevant, I guess is the
Sure.
way to
Well,
say it.
it is. And at the same time, I don't know, maybe I'm reading the lyrics wrong to it or have been for 20 years or 15 years or whatever it's been. I don't necessarily look at this as a totally negative song. It does have that aspect of hope to it, like it could get better, but it's up to you to push yourself that way. Is that ultimate? Two questions in there. One, is that what you were trying to say? And B, is that more relevant now than ever, where everybody is so determined to be polarized now?
Yeah, I think honestly, with the advancements in technology and stuff, everyone and everything is so accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Facts, misinformation, it's all right there. You can search something and find whatever it is. You can be told whatever you want to hear, depending on how you search things or how you ask the questions. Um, I don't think that's ever changed. But for me, the song is about most of the 12 Stones catalog is about overcoming adversity of some sort and believing yourself and finding your own path in life and not just getting in line, and accepting the outcome. It's like, oh, well, none of us know what we're doing, so I'll just be a lemming and walk off the same cliff. To me, it's like, yeah, man, things are messed up in the world. I do believe that it can get better. I don't believe it is getting better, but I also don't
Sure.
believe that we're applying ourselves in the right way. And I say that to myself as well as anyone else that's listening.
Sure. Where do you see the biggest failure point at? And I'll tell you up front, I see it not as government or society as much as I see it as individuals. I think individuals have gotten lazy into being good people. Just the basic aspects of this is how you have to be considered a good person. That seems to have drifted away. And, obviously governments or people of power or whoever you want to say will take advantage of that. Where do you see it? Do you see it as the people or the government or all of it? Or what do you see as the problem that needs the most fixing?
I mean, I think it's humans in general. I don't think it's a sect. I don't think it's a left or right. I don't think it's a up and down. It's not even the good versus evil anymore. It's just the fact that nobody on this planet knows what we're doing. No one
Yeah.
has a clue. And there's some geniuses. I mean, we've created things that fly through the air and get you to the other side of the world in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're stupid across the board, but I do believe that every single one of us is in a state of fake it till you make it. From world leaders to people that work up the road. Every one of us is guessing our way through it. We don't know what happens after when we die. We don't know what happens behind closed doors and decision makers offices. We don't know. So I think we're all just pretending like we know what's happening so that we can be like, oh no, I know the way out of here, just follow me, we'll go this way. And if
Right.
you don't follow me, you're an idiot. It's like, you've never been, you don't know what's on the other side of the curtain. None of us do. So I think that's really the biggest problem to me, is that no one's willing to accept that they don't know anything. No one's
Right.
really willing to accept that we're all lost. We're all wandering. And I don't mean that in the religious sense. Oh, but I think in general, we're just all Roombas. We're
Sure.
flesh Roombas. We're just bouncing off of walls and go in this direction until we hit a wall, and we go this
Right.
way, and we just,
And
we're not
zero
really doing
guidance
much.
to any of it. Just go until it hits you.
Right. Right. Exactly. Just keep running into that brick wall until eventually it falls down or you go a different direction.
Right. Exactly. Well, let's move off of the depressing and get to at least the exciting part of having this. You obviously worked with the legendary Howard Benson. I mean, this guy is, I can't even imagine you can walk into his house from all the shine from all the platinum on the walls. I mean, this guy is a legend's legend. And Neil Sanderson's, right there with him, kind of the
Yeah.
architects of the mid 2000 active rock sound. Talk about working with them. Does it feel like a homecoming to you? Is there pressure to live up to, their impressive resumes? I mean, how do you feel working with them? Look at your screen right now. If you're tired of the hide and seek games with big tech, where links disappear and episodes get throttled, I've got the fix. I'm Chris Aiken, and it's time for me to show you how to take back your access to the Classic Metal Show, the Seth Williams Show, and Chris Aiken Presents. Pick up your phone, go to the App Store or Google Play, and download the Locals app. It is 100% free. Once you're in, just search for the CMS Network. You're going to see everything. Every interview, every unfiltered rant, every deep dive music discussion, every uncensored news article we put up, all in one centralized, uncensored hub. No more chasing links across 5 different socials. This is our home. But if you really want the keys to the kingdom, look for that VIP upgrade. For just $4.99 a month, you're cutting out the commercials, getting the advanced drops before anyone else, and accessing bonus episodes that are way too heavy, dirty, or we just don't want to share with the free public. For the price of a cheap beer, you're supporting independent, unapologetic media. Download the Locals app today. Get some CMS wherever you are. And if you're a real one, join the VIP squad at classicmetalshow.locals.com. The Classic Metal Show and the CMS Network. It's uncensored. It's unapologetic. We will see you there.
The initial thought of it was intimidating in a sense of like, I don't ever, I tend to devalue myself a lot in general. It's a weird mental hang up that I have. But whenever I find out that we're going to go work with Howard directly, I'm like, I don't think I'm worthy of that. You know, he's such a well-known, just awesome guy. And, you know, a lot of times you go and meet people that have that caliber and that kind of career. And sometimes they're not as pleasant of a person as you would think. And it was could not have been more untrue with Howard. He was so personable. He made me feel right at home the second I walked in. And I told him, I said, you know, at home in my studio, I use the Howard Benson vocal plugins to do all my vocals. And he's like, that's exactly what we use here. We just have different microphones, you know? And I was like, yeah, you definitely got much better microphones than me. But it felt natural. It felt easy. He put faith in the fact that I was going to give it my best. And I put faith in him to guide me in the right ways on some of these melody choices and things like that. So within 30 seconds, I felt like we were old friends. It was really cool. We were talking football and things like that. So it was a very, very cool experience, and I'm beyond grateful to have the opportunity to have done that.
Sure. Now, is it just the one song, or are you working on a EP or a full assortment of songs? And are you working with Howard on them?
We did 2 songs with Howard. We
Okay.
did our first release called Golden Child.
Right.
It came out before World So Cold. We did that and World So Cold both with Howard. Would love to keep that process rolling. I mean, like I said, it's a legendary moment to be able to go in and hang out and work with him and his entire team. Like every single person on the roster at Judge and Jury has been top notch. To deal with on a level. Everyone's personable, and I can reach out and contact them directly, and I don't have to go through red tape and 15 different handlers. You know, I'm able to ask the questions, as stupid as they may seem, and get an answer pretty quick. So
Sure. Definitely. Well, Paul, as I said earlier in the interview, I wanted to address why 12 Stones did not become a gigantic band. And I mean, all the pieces were there. And obviously doing the Evanescence song yourself, with you in it, you are it. I honestly, if you ask 100 people about that song, they're singing your part. They're not singing Amy's part. They're doing the "Break Me Up." They're doing that part.
yeah, yeah.
You totally had the pieces together, which I honestly think, in hindsight, as a fan, really hurt your band, because people didn't appreciate what you were doing. They only wanted to hear 45 seconds of music from you instead of judging you completely. Is that fair? And do you think that that did hinder 12 Stone's ability to rise up, into the level of like the Disturbs or whatever that were coming up around the exact same time?
I think the way I've tried to view this in my career is that I've gotten an opportunity to do what so many people want to do but haven't been able to. I've made a 25-year career, and even if it was being the opening band, I've gotten to tour with Creed, Three Doors Down, all the big guys. We've been on all the same stages, and while I don't know directly if the Evanescence song had a hindrance on our progression as a band, I think the biggest hindrance for us was our age and our inability to understand the business side of it.
Okay.
I was 19 years old when I got signed to our first record deal, and it was a 3 album deal, a multi-million dollar deal. I didn't come from a family that was made of money. So, we come from a mid-level family in the
Sure.
South, and I never had any money growing up, so I got a record deal. I got my bonus. I went out and spent all the money in like 7 months. I was like, "Oh, we made it. We're doing it." And then
Right.
that was it. And so I think had we been a little smarter on the business end of things and a little bit more mature in that way, that we might have had a better shot at things. But I have no regrets and no complaints. I mean, I got to spend my 20s and 30s touring the world with my best friends and making music that I'm proud of still to this day. So um, I think when it comes to the Evanescence song, the biggest issue for me with that song was I kind of got roped into the villain side of the band versus label controversy
Mm-hmm.
that that happened around the time that that song was coming out. The band didn't want the my part in the song, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't because of me. They didn't want the part in the song, regardless of who would have
Sure.
eventually done it. I didn't know that there was an issue. I got asked by the label to be a part of this song, and I said, "Oh yeah, I would love to." And it wasn't until we were in Romania shooting the music video that I found out that there was an issue. And then I kind of got, it's like the word of mouth game, the telephone game. You start
Mm-hmm.
one thing here, and by the time it gets back, it's a completely different story. So I think a lot of things were taken out of context, and it made it seem like I forced my way into the song, and I couldn't let Amy, have her moment to shine. And I was like, no, I, I was just a dumb kid that wanted that wanted to be a part of this. So
Yeah.
that had a hindrance a lot of times. The word of mouth, the fans, they hear an interview where Amy says, "Yeah, we had to put the part in the song," and then that part becomes me, the
Mm-hmm.
person, not the part of the song or the creative struggle between band and label. It became, well, he's the one that did it.
Sure.
Here's the light the torches, get the pitchforks, let's go. Uh,
Right.
so
And I
I spent a
imagine it
lot of
made
years
her
early
mad
on.
as well because your part, like I said before, your part is the part people remember. And that's not a slap against Evanescence. They've obviously had a huge career past that
Sure.
song. But I mean, when people think of that song, which is their biggest song, they're not thinking of her crooning "Bring Me to Life." They're thinking of your part, the rap part in the middle, and the "Wake Me Up" part. That's what they're thinking of. It's such a weird. You're like the only guy I could think of that has that dynamic of having a Grammy that might have hurt you.
Right. Yeah.
You know, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
and, and
I keep it here every day. So in my little home studio. So when I'm working, I can be like, man,
sure,
everything's possible. You know what I mean? I
absolutely.
kind of joked my way into that scenario, and I get to look at this every day and be like, man, all right, you got it. So
Right on. They say you should never look back, but I've never been good at following orders. I'm Chris Aiken, and while most of you know me for the radio and the interviews, I've got a past that would make social justice warriors' heads explode. My latest book, and Other Things I Should Not Say, isn't a self-help manual. It's an autopsy of the years 1986 to 1990. 4 years of sex, booze, and absolute chaos while I was serving in the military in Korea and California. I'm talking about stories that stay buried in the back of your memory because society tells you they're wrong and ugly. Well, I don't live in fear of my past. Every filthy, calloused, and ridiculous moment in this book actually happened, and I'm damn proud to share it. If you're easily offended, keep walking, pal. But if you want to see what happens when you pack a lifetime of dangerous living into just 4 years, head over to Amazon.com or just go to the link in the description and grab yourself a copy today. Both middle fingers are up and the truth is right here. Get some CMS, uncensored, and other things I should not say is the book, and it is sure to offend and sicken and make you laugh like you never have before. Well, and you know, the saddest thing, at least in my eyes, Paul, is that people really didn't, I don't think, gave you guys a fair shot. You know, I loved Potter's Field. I thought that should have been your breakout record. I thought the self-title was okay. Didn't love it, not gonna lie. You know, it was okay.
Yeah,
But Potter's Field is great. Far Away, Lifeless, Bitter. I mean, these are great songs. And I don't think the public gave you that due attention. Again, going back to Evanescence, they thought of you as a piece of Evanescence, not as 12 Stones. Is that fair?
right. Yeah, absolutely. It was their first song off the first record.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear a song for the first time on a band you've never heard of and you see two singers, you just naturally think most bands don't start their first single with a feature, you know.
Sure.
So especially a feature of someone that's not highly popular, like
Mm-hmm.
Mike Shinoda or Jacoby or one of the guys that pioneered that rap rock kind of vibe.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I think it was one of those things where we're like perfect storm, you know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
right place, right time to get into it, but then it also was like confusing because people didn't know I wasn't in the band and they weren't familiar with 12 Stones before.
Sure.
But then after I kind of became vilified, they were like, "Well, I don't want to listen to it now," and
Right.
it was kind of like, "But just check it out. If you don't like it, you don't like it." But
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Potter's Field's my guilty pleasure favorite record that we've ever done because I feel like that's where we hit our stride. That's the record where we really found our sound and kind of honed in on what we were going to be about for the next 25 years.
Sure. Well, I couldn't agree with you more on that. That's the one. If people ask me about 12 Stones, that's the one I throw them to is Potter's Field, not the debut and certainly not the Evanescence thing. Let's move on from this because I want to dwell on this. Obviously,
Yeah.
you're making music. You're getting yourself back out there. That usually means touring. I know I've seen a date or two that you're doing like the Creed cruise, and so talk about what your plans are going forward, and you know what it looks like, both in recording, but certainly in seeing the band once again.
Yeah, we spend a lot of our career taking a lot of pride in our live show. We try to be really high energy. We try to really engage. I really love that aspect of what we do. That's my therapy session. So, we get to go travel the country, and I get to have therapy nightly with a bunch of friends and strangers, which is pretty epic. For a job description, I get to go scream at the top of my lungs in people's faces and don't get arrested for it. So it's pretty sweet. But yeah, we're doing the Summer of '99 Creed cruise. Can't wait for that. It's gonna be Creed, Daughtry, us, Collective Soul, Nonpoint, Blackstone Cherry, just so many
Wow.
great bands that
Sure.
just always deliver live. So we're gonna do that, and then a couple weeks after that, we're going out with Powerman 5000 for about a month, and another band called Makes My Blood Dance. Um, Both of those bands, from everything I've seen through the years, they both bring it. They both have great energy. Seem like great humans. So we're really looking forward to hitting the road. I'm gonna be releasing. I have about an album's worth of material. I
Okay.
just need to get it recorded and ready, and then we're gonna continue dropping music and hopefully have a full album by the end of the year.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to keep my booking agent busy. I want him sweating. I want him needing a break. You know. So I'm trying to hit the road running. I bought a van and a trailer, and my guys are hungry and we're ready to tackle the world.
Right on. Well, it's going to be a great time, I guess, for the next at least year, and it sounds like the plan is for a lot more than a year. 12 Stones bringing it back. Again, World So Cold is the single that you can check out now. It is out there on YouTube or Spotify or wherever, and yeah, it's fine, people, if you check it out there. But for God's sakes, find somewhere to buy something from the band to keep the band alive. Paul, where's the best place for us to send people to actually buy a single, a hat, a shirt, a keychain, whatever it would be?
Yeah, for sure. Our website, 12stones.com. We have all of our t-shirts. We got brand new orders of trucker hats in. I do custom handwritten 12 Stones lyrics that I handwrite and I personalize to everybody. And as you can see, I got shirts going out today.
Nice.
Yeah, hats going out today. A stack of lyrics that all this is going out today. So yeah, 12stones.com. You can find all the stuff, 12 Stones, all the tour dates, all the information, and the singles are linked up there as well. So if you want to check out any of the music, if you're unfamiliar, definitely go give us a listen. And I run all the socials myself. We don't have
Okay.
a big team of people. So
Sure.
if you hit us up on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, any of those things, you're going to be talking directly to me.
Very good.
So give me time to reply. If it seems like I'm taking a minute, I'm one man.
Because you're at
I'm
the post office.
trying to. I'm at the post office most of my days these days. Yes, exactly. Or I'm trying to figure out how to get proper content for the modern world in the rock business.
Right on. Well, one more time, it is 12 Stones. World So Cold is the song. And Paul, this has been fun. Thanks for joining me here on Chris Aker Presents.
My pleasure.
Headbangers, show your allegiance to the Classic Metal Show. Score the latest killer gear and apparel. Find your next metal shirt now at https://classicmetalshow.creator-spring.com. So classicmetalshow.creator-spring.com, that dash being like a minus. Shop and support the show now.